Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhav, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna, Balaram, Bal Gopal, Nrsimhadev, Gaunitha, Srila Prabhupada, and this Guru Maharaj and the assembled devotees. So, today we wanted to talk about Kuvera, who is the wealthiest of all the demigods. Kuvera is the god of wealth and the treasurer of the heavenly planets. He is the richest of all the demigods. He is also called the Lord of the Yakshas, the broad class of nature spirits, usually benevolent, but sometimes mischievous or capricious. He's connected with water, fertility, trees, the forest, treasure, and wilderness. So he's also connected to the Guyakas, Kinnaras, Gandharvas. So he's got a lot of connections, Kuvera. He's also the guardian of travelers and the giver of wealth to individuals who please him. Kuvera is often depicted with a plump body adorned with jewels and carrying a honey pot and a club. He is one of the 8 demigods who are in charge of different directions of the universe. He is in charge of the northern part of the universe. In the Puranas, Kuvera is described as the grandson of Pulatsya and the son of Vishwarav and his wife Ila Vida, or Ili Villa, or Devavarnini, daughter of the sage Bharadvaj, or Trina Bindu. Vishwarav had 2 wives. So the first wife was Idavida, from whom Kuvera, the master of all the yakshas, was born. And second wife was Kesini, from whom 3 sons were born: Ravan, Kumkaran, and Vibhishan. So Kuvera is half-brother of Ravan. He's half-brother. They have the same father, Vishrav. The scriptures describe Kuvera once ruled Lanka. Ravan, after acquiring a boon from Brahma, drove Kuvera away from Lanka. The Rakshasas also serve Kuvera. So quite interesting, Kuvera. However, some cannibalistic Rakshasas are described to have sided with Ravan in the battle against Kuvera. Ravan seized Kuvera's Pushpak Viman, which was returned to Kuvera after Ravan's death. As Lanka could not be restored to Kuvera, then Lanka was not given back to Kuvera. He settled on Gandha Mandana mountain near Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva in the Himalayas. And Vishwakarma built him a palace on Alakapuri, which cannot be seen from Kailash. His city is called Alaka or Alakapuri, and also Prabha, splendor, Vasudhar, bejeweled, and Vasu Stali, abode of treasures. So there in Alakapuri, Kuvera has a grove or garden called Chaitra-ratha, where the leaves are jewels and the fruits are girls of heaven. There is also a charming lake called Nalini in the grove. A description of Kuvera's, yes, Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I got my name there.
Oh, yes, Prabha. Splendor.
So, splendor means?
Means very great, very opulent.
Okay. Thank you.
Which you are.
Right.
Prabhuji, why he Kuber gone away from Lanka? I couldn't understand.
Because Ravan displaced him. Ravan was a nasty piece of work, you know. So he drove him away.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. With the help of other Rakshasas.
And he went in Alkapuri. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, effectively
Alkapuri.
Alakapuri. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Vishwakarma. Okay, thanks.
Good, 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 good. A description of Kuver's magnificent court appears in the Mahabharata. There, Gandharvas and Apsaras entertain Kuver. Shiva and his wife Parvati often visit Kuver's court, which is attended by semi-divine beings like the Vidyadharas, Kimpurushas, Rakshasas, Pisachas, as well as Padma and Sankha. Personified treasures, Nidhi and Manibhadra, Kuvera's chief attendant and chief of his army. So it's a very famous place. They love Kuvera because he's got so much money. Alaka is recorded to be plundered by Ravan once and attacked by the Pandava prince Bhim also. Kuvera's Nairatha army is described to have defeated King Muchukunda, who then defeated them by the advice of his guru Vashishta. Sukracharya, the preceptor, the guru of the Asuras, is also recorded to have defeated Kuver and stolen his wealth. Another major tale in the scriptures records how Kuver entertained the sage Ashtavakra.
All right, George? Not bad. Oh, I thought you didn't read that before. I just saw it.
Okay. Kuver is often described as a devotee of Shiva. The Padma Puran says that Kuver prayed to Shiva for many years and Shiva granted him the kingship of Yakshas. The Puranas and Mahabharata record that Kuver married Bhadra. Bhadra means auspicious, or Kuberi, wife of Kuver. And she was a daughter of the demon Mura. She is also called Yakshi, a female Yaksha, or Charvi, splendor. They had 3 sons, Nalakuber, I see, Nalakuber, Manigriv, or Varnakavi, and Mayuraj, and a daughter called Minakshi. So Navakuver and Manigriv, they're very famous because they were cursed to become trees in the courtyard of Nand Maharaj. And Krishna pulled them down when he did his Leela of Damodar Leela. So his consort also is Kuverni, or Kuver is also known by the name Kuber or Yaksheshwar. Kuver, surrounded by beautiful women, praised by the Siddhas, enjoys pastimes in the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which are rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulated passion. So different names. As a son of Vishwarav, fame, Kuver is known as Vaishravana. As a son of Ilavila, he's known as Ailavila. Once Kuver looked at Shiva and his wife Parvati with jealousy, so he lost one of his eyes. Parvati turned his deformed eye yellow, so Kuver gained the name Eka Shipingala, one with the yellow, who has a yellow eye. He's also called Bhutesha, Lord of Spirits, like Shiva. Kuver usually is drawn by spirits or men, Nara, so is called Nara Vahan. One who has Vahan, mount, is Nara. So he's carried by men sometimes. I think I've got a picture of him somewhere. Let me just see. Ah, there he is. There's Kuver, carried by the man. He also enjoys the title king as follows. King of Kings, Raj, Lord of Wealth, Dhanadipati, Giver of Wealth, Dhanada. His titles are sometimes related to his subjects, King of Yakshas, Yaksharajan, or Lord of Rakshasas, Rakshadipati, or Lord of the Guyakas, Guyaka Deepa, King of the Kinkaras, Kinkara Raj, King of animals resembling men, Mayuraj, King of men, Nararaj. Kuvera is also known as Guya Deepa, Lord of the Hidden. The Atharvaveda calls him the god of hiding. In the Vishnu Dharmotara Puran, Kuvera is described as the embodiment of both Artha, that's wealth, prosperity, glory, and Artha Shastras, the treatise relating to it. Kuvera is described as follows. His complexion is that of a lotus leaf. He rides a man. He's adorned in golden cloth and ornaments symbolizing his wealth. His left eye is yellow. He wears an armor, a necklace down to his large belly. His face to be inclined to the left, sporting a beard and a mustache, with two small tusks protruding from the ends of his mouth, representing his power to punish and to bestow favors. So this is a little idea of what he looks like. And this is an interesting picture of him. His wife, representing the journey of life, is seated on his left lap, with her left hand on the back of Kuvera, in the right hand holding a Ratnapatra jewel pot. Oh no. I'm sorry, I have just crashed. 1 second. So, Kuvera should be four-armed. He's holding a gada, mace, symbol of Dandaniti, administration of justice, and a Shakti, power, in his left pair. And he's bearing a lion representing Artha, and Shibika, a club. This is the weapon of Kuvera. The Nidhi treasures, Padma and Shankar, stand beside him in human form, with their heads emerging from a lotus and a conch, respectively. Just a minute. Okay. The Puranas and the epic Mahabharata Ramayana states that Brahma conferred as a reward for his severe penance upon Kuvera the riches of the world, Nidhis, equality with God, and the Pushpak Viman, a flying chariot, friendship with Shiva, status as world protector, a son called Kuvera, or Nakul and Nakubera or Nakubara, and the lordship of Rata demons. So Kuvera has got a lot of boons given to him. The Puranas and the Mahabharata record that Kuvera married Bhadra or Kuberi. So we've actually talked about that. Daughter of the demon. Yeah, we've talked about this already. He also rides the elephant called Sarvabhauma as a Lokapala. So worship. As a treasure of the riches of the world, Kuvera is sometimes worshipped. It is said that Kuvera also credited money to Venkateshwar, a form of Vishnu, for his marriage with Padmavati. So this is something which is in the Tirupati temple in the south, in Andhra Pradesh. Very, very famous temple. In remembrance of this, one of the reasons devotees go to Tirupati to donate money in Venkateshwar's hundi is so that he can repay it back to Kuvera. So Kuvera is owed by Venkateshwar which is really very, very unusual. And the devotees love to assist the Lord in helping him repay that debt. Of course, he has no debt to repay, but this is the love between the Lord and the devotee. Okay. While Kuvera still enjoyed prayers as the god of wealth, his role is largely taken by the god of wisdom, fortune, and obstacle removal, who is Ganesh, with whom he is generally associated. So they're together in many ways. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's reference to Kuvera. Krishna says, I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. He also talks about, in the purport, Prabhupada says, the leader of the Yakshas or the Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master treasurer of the demigods. He is a representation of the Supreme Lord. And another purport, he says, Prabhupada says, in this conditional state, people are attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts, or yakshas like Kuvera. There's a few more things. Bhagavad Gita. Of the yakshas and rakshasas, I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. We've already talked through those two. In the Bhagavatam, there's a few references about Kuvera. Lord Shiva, for example, in the first chapter, wanted to try the strength of, test the strength of Arjuna in the form of an aborigine. Lord Shiva met him. There was a fight between the two. And at last, Lord Shiva was satisfied with Arjuna and disclosed his identity. Arjuna prayed to the Lord in all humbleness, and the Lord, being pleased with him, presented him the Pushpat weapon. He acquired many other important weapons from different demigods. So Kuvera, he received the Danta Astra from Yamraj, the Pasha Astra from Varun, and Antardhan Astra from Kuvera. Oh, so Arjun, yeah, sorry. That's all. Arjun got all of these things while before they were to fight in the Battle of Kurukshetra. Okay, there's another purport here. Another reference in the Bhagavatam. In that aerial mansion, he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulate passion. In these valleys, the treasure of the demigods, Kuvera, surrounded with beautiful women and praised by the siddhas, generally enjoys. So there's quite a lot of references to generally enjoys pleasure. Kadam Muni also, surrounded by beautiful damsels, and his wife went there and enjoyed for many, many years. Kuvera is one of the 8 demigods in charge of different directions. So we talked about that. Lord Shiva sat surrounded by saintly persons like Kuvera, the master of the Guyakas and the 4 Kumaras. And in the purport, Prabhupada explains, Kuvera, the treasure of the demigod, is fabulously rich. Thus, Lord Shiva's association with the Kumaras and Kuvera indicates that he has all transcendental and material opulences. So sometimes Shiva is depicted as having no clothes, practically speaking, and perhaps living like a pauper. But actually, he's not. He's one of the greatest personalities. He's a qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his position is very exalted. My dear son, those yakshas who are descendants of Kuvera are not actually killers of your brother. So this is when Dhruv Maharaj was avenging the death of his brother. And he was advised that don't do this killing. It's not very good. My dear Dhruv, you thought that the yakshas killed your brother, therefore you've killed great numbers of them. But by your action, you have agitated the mind of Lord Shiva's brother, Kuvera, who is the treasurer of the demigods. Please note that your actions have been very disrespectful to Kuvera and Lord Shiva. For this reason, my son, you should immediately pacify Kuvera with gentle words and prayers, and thus his wrath may not affect your family. So, Prabhupada writes, in our common dealings, we should maintain friendship with everyone, and certainly with such exalted demigods as Kuvera. So we should not insult. Sometimes there's a tendency to minimize the demigods, but actually we should be very respectful because they are actually great devotees of the Lord, as they are serving the Lord in many different ways. So we should be very careful how we deal with the demigods. Okay. So another part of the Bhagavatam. The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidu, Dhruv Maharaj's anger subsided and he completely ceased killing yakshas. When Kuvera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruv while being worshipped by yakshas, kinnaras, channaras. He spoke to Dhruv Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands." So the master of the treasurer, Kuvera, said, "O sinless son of the Kshatriya, I am very glad to know that under the jurisdiction of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity. And although it is very difficult to avoid, I am pleased with you." So this is the thing about the devotees. Sometimes, like Dhruv, he wanted to take revenge for the killing of his brother by the yakshas. But yet, when he was petitioned, he immediately stopped the killing and he started to worship Kuvera, and Kuvera became pleased. So this is one of the beauties of being a devotee, very compassionate and tolerant. So Kuvera is one of the devotees of the Lord. Another canto, 8th canto. When Vamandev, thus being given the sacred thread, Kuvera, the king of the yakshas, gave him a pot for begging alms. So this is when Lord came as Vamandev, as a dwarf incarnation. And at that time, Kuvera gave him a pot for begging alms. So this is quite extraordinary. So there's a bit more. Let's just see. Yes, that's it. Good. So then we have the pastimes of Lord Krishna now, which is very powerful. These two young men, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, are by fortune the sons of great demigod Kuvera. But because of false prestige and madness after drinking liquor, they are so fallen that they are naked but cannot understand that they are. This is before Narad Muni. Therefore, because they are living like trees, for trees are naked but are not conscious, these two men should receive the bodies of trees. This will be proper punishment. So if you remember the pastime of Damodar Leela, this is when Nalakuvera and Manigriva, were the sons of Kuvera, were punished by Narad Muni to become trees. They were cursed. And that curse they were freed from that curse by Lord Krishna. Nonetheless, after they became trees and until they were released by my mercy, Krishna's mercy, they will have remembrance of their past sinful activities. By my mercy, Narad Muni's mercy, because Narad Muni is cursing them. Moreover, by my special favor, after the expiration of 100 years by the measurement of the demigods, they will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face, and thus revive their real position as devotees. So this is really a blessing on the sons of Kuvera. although these two young men are the sons of very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them, Devasi Narad is my very dear and affectionate devotee. Therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. This is Krishna saying that even though Krishna has nothing to do with the demigods or riches or power or anything, still, because the devotee Narad wanted him to liberate Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, he did so. So the devotee is very powerful, very, very powerful. He actually controls the Lord. The Lord doesn't want to even do this, but because the devotees want him to do it, he will do it. Devotees are never tempted by Kuvera's wealth. Dhruv Maharaj was offered a benediction by the king of the kings, Kuvera, the treasure of the demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to purses within the materialistic world. He is described as king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kuvera, one cannot become a king. The king of kings personally offered Dhruv Maharaj any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. He is described therefore as Mahamati, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. So we wanted to stop there for this section on Kuvera. Very important Devata, because he's in charge of one of the directions. He's also in charge of wealth. He's close to Lord Shiva, and is referred to many times in the Bhagavad Purana. And in the Bhagavad Gita as well, Krishna himself says, I am the Lord of Yakshas, Kuvera. So any questions, any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Shyamali.
Yeah, Prabhu, how come Kuvera and Lord Shiva, they are brothers, yeah?
Yeah, they're brothers. It says that. I'm not sure exactly how they became brothers, but they're brothers. It says
And
that.
yeah. Okay. And also it says Kuvera used to rule Lanka.
He lived in Lanka, yeah. But he was displaced by Ravan. Ravan took it over.
Yeah. But Lanka originally used to belong to Lord Shiva, no? He did it for Parvati.
I can't remember that. Do you remember this? Lanka? Not sure. Did he? I'm not sure. Did Lanka belong to Lord Shiva? May have. He may have gifted it to Kuvera because they're close. Yeah, maybe.
I think, I'm sorry, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is the palace was built for Parvati.
Yes.
And then,
In Lanka?
no, in
Kailash.
in Kailash.
Kailash,
And then when he went to do the puja for that palace, then he
Invited Ravan.
yeah, no, Ravan asked for Dakshina.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Parvati, because the palace was built for Parvati, but Shankar Bhagwan couldn't say no, and Shiv said, yes, I will give my this whole palace to you, and it was built in gold.
That was Kailash.
Yeah,
it's Kailash.
Yeah, but that palace was built in Kailash, and then it was given to Ravan, but I don't know how he took it to Lanka.
Yeah,
that's much I little bit remember.
Yeah, that Parvati cursed Ravan, said, all your family will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Is that when she cursed him?
Yes. When Ravan asked for
right. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Very interesting. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Okay, let's make a stop. Kuvera ki jai and Lord Shiva ki jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai.